What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we are checking out the all-new 2024 Mini Countryman John Cooper Works. We borrowed this car at Van Laarhoven BMW and Mini in Eindhoven. We've been working with those guys for, well, like 10 plus years. One of our oldest partners, so big thanks to them. If you're interested in a BMW or a Mini, go check them out. They always have a couple of very cool cars in stock. Today I'm going to show you around it. The Mini Countryman has changed quite a bit, so we'll cover those changes and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. Now, as you can see, it's very chunky, it's square, rectangular, very cool look. Actually, I like it. This is a cool trend that's happening right now, that cars are getting more boxy and like a bit of an 80s vibe sort of, which is nice. I like that. We've got a new octagonal grille with the adaptive cruise control, or whatever this sensor is. They gave it like this little pattern, which means that it's much more incorporated into the grille, which I think is very smart. We've got the new John Cooper Works logo there as well in the grille. And then these new headlights, which are adjustable or configurable. So you can go for just the upper part, the upper and the lower part, or the entire thing, which is quite nice. You get this striping on the bonnet for the John Cooper Works as well. And then wheels and brakes wise, we've got these 20-inch John Cooper Works wheels, and behind that we've got John Cooper Works brakes. And these perforated discs, as you can see, they are quite large. They are really good, the brakes. Like, the pedal is super snappy, it's firm, it's really bitey, it's actually really good. One of my favorite parts of this car, actually. We've got 245 section Pirelli P0s here at the front. We've got red mirrors and a roof as well. You can see the logo here. This is the first car with the new logo. And well, let's check out the rear as well, because the car has grown quite a bit. It's 13 centimeters longer and 6 centimeters higher than the previous version. Now, if I get in, this is, I was basically sitting behind myself, I would say, maybe almost. Let's close that up. So this is actually not bad, and the rear seat is adjustable, so I can go forwards quite a bit, as you can see. Like, that's a big difference. Look at that. So you gain a lot of rear luggage space if you do that, and you have kids and they don't need that much leg room. And if you have adults in here, just put it all the way back and you've got some proper space in here. So that's very nice. It's quite a spacious car. It is a big car now. You have this panoramic roof as well, so it feels very spacious. Quite like that. These seats are great. Integrated headrests as well. It's very windy out, so I don't have a mic today. I'm kind of struggling with that, but we'll have a look. That's not bad. So actually it's 4 meters 43 centimeters long, which is almost as long as the first Range Rover, which is quite cool. So luggage space, very good as well, because when you open it up you're like, that's not that much, but then you open this up and you've got like the entire size of the trunk has like a dual layer, which is nice. So that's actually quite good. 460 liters if I'm not mistaken, which is decent. New rear lights as well. I'll turn them on for you guys. So it has a little animation as well. And then you have the Union Jack. This is configurable as well, so it's quite difficult to show that, but during the review we'll stop in the tunnel and I can show you all the different rear lights you can select. It's 3 of them, like with the front. We've got the quad exhaust tip as well, which is an actual proper exhaust, as you can see. No fake stuff going on here, which is very nice. So let's have a look inside, because this is, I believe, where this car shines. It is very well done and it's very mini. It's like fun and quirky and weird, different compared to others, which is good. We've got this very chunky steering wheel. It's very thick, and then you have this like ribbon, which is your third spoke, which is quite a cool detail with the John Cooper Works logo on there as well. yeah, it's quite a nice place to be. It feels spacious, which is nice. And then of course we've got, well, the center of attention and the thing that the entire interior revolves around, which is the new 240mm diameter OLED screen, which houses everything. And well, we would need a lot of time to explain everything that is going on here, but if I start it up, I can show you. So a lot is happening. Everything is in here. You have a few physical buttons down here for the gearbox, the start stop button, or the key actually, the driving modes, and the physical volume button, which is great, hazards, the cameras, and the stupid driver assistant things, which we're going to turn off. And then you have these buttons for the menus and the shortcuts basically. Then you go to settings in here, so a lot of apps basically. And then if you hit the speed, like the upper part, you go to the speedometer. And you have these different menus as well, with Spike, your personal assistant, which I'm hoping is for the kids that will be in the back of the car usually, and not for the drivers. Otherwise, I don't know. Yeah, so you have all this, and then if you change modes, you get a sound as well for every mode. Now you can turn this off, but we left it on. But like if you go to sport, go-kart, woohoo, you get a little woohoo, and the entire face changes. Now that goes for all the driving modes. So you have that one, core, green. And every time, like the design changes as well. So yeah, I think they did a good job with this. I like this one. It's like a classic look, like a 50s or 60s look. Personal. Balance. Ooh. Oh, that's my seat massager that turned on. I don't want that. And trail. So I quite like that. I think this fits Mini really, really well, and they kind of nailed it in their design as well. Yeah, so you've got all these different modes, and then you also have shortcuts. If you swipe up, you have your climate right there, so minus and plus, your seat heating. Again, you know, it is a touchscreen, but I think they did it really well because you have all the most important parts down here, and it's one click away. So of course it adds one click compared to a physical button, but it's just one click. And I think that kind of works. We also have the optional head-up display, which is like an old school little window, which I don't really like. It's not very premium. Other than that, everything is really nice actually. Seats are very good, very supportive. Seating position is great. You've got some storage down here. Everything is with that like textile, which is all recycled. You've got a wireless charger down here and some cup holders. So yeah, ergonomically speaking, this is a very good car. Now, I forgot to show you guys the engine, so let's have a look-see. Oh, it's very windy. So, this is the B48 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and it's got 300 horsepower, 400 Nm of torque in this John Cooper Works version. In the S version, you have the same engine with 220 something horsepower, 225 I think. Same B48 engine. Now it's a little bit less than the previous generation, which had 306 horsepower and 450 Nm. So 50 Nm more than this one. It's also a little bit slower from 0 to 100. This is 5.4 and the previous one is 5.1. So yeah, they kind of went down a little bit in power and performance. Okay, so let's go for go-kart mode, sport mode, which also unfortunately does mean you get a lot more fake sound through the speakers. You get this burble, which is all speaker sound. And you can use the pedals behind the steering wheel to shift, but they are not great. They feel a bit cheap, which is weird because I feel like the rest of the car feels pretty good. Everything is like nice and sturdy, but the pedals are very flimsy. They're linked to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, by the way, which is also new. Last time round we had the Aisin 8-speed gearbox in this, just a regular automatic. So they went to a dual clutch. Don't know why, but I quite like the fact that they're still trying out different gearboxes and yeah, switching them up. Now I have to say that Aisin gearbox in the previous Countryman John Cooper Works was absolutely horrible. They did improve it recently. We drove the M135i, the new version, and they definitely improved that gearbox recently. But in the last Countryman it was just horrible. It's actually one of the reasons Martijn used to own one, and that's basically the main reason why he sold it. So you can feel the shifts jolt through the car, which is nice. You can actually feel the shift, which is something I really appreciate. Now, sport for the gearbox, 0 to 100 5.4. As I said, launch control doesn't always work, but there we go. That's 0 to 100. You also get stiffer dampers, of course, on the John Cooper Works. They are quite firm. That does mean that, yeah, it's a little bit less comfortable, but does mean that the car stays very flat. It weighs 1660 kilos, so it's not bad. Okay, so we're at the tunnel. As I said, I'm going to show you guys the different light versions. So I'll pull over here and Martijn can change the settings in the menu, which is there. Exterior lighting. So this is the basic, this is the like default one. So you've got the rings at the front and the Union Jacks at the rear, and then Martijn will change them and I can show you guys. Fucking. So this is the Union Jack design at the rear, and then at the front we've got the rings. So if we change now, yeah, this is like the top two at the front. I was wrong before, I think. And then we've got a different flag at the rear. This is also basically part of the English flag, I think. And then the next one is this. But I quite like that. I like that you can configure them and personalize them, and then you have the top and the bottom one on this one. Yeah, so this is kind of what's happening with cars nowadays, and I think I said this a few years back already that this was going to happen. Car manufacturers, they have to like set themselves apart in ways that don't really involve the engine and the gearbox and stuff anymore, because that's going to go away anyway. So this drivetrain, even though I quite like the dual clutch gearbox and I normally really like the P48 4-cylinder, it's not really an exciting drivetrain, even though it's a John Cooper Works. You know, you would expect it to be a little bit more exciting, but they are really trying to set themselves apart from other brands with stuff like this, with that dog personal assistant, with the configurable front and rear lights, with like design stuff like this ribbon and the textiles that are all like 90% recycled. Stuff like that is going to take over and is going to basically be how we interact with cars and in the future, apparently. So that's why they really invest in stuff like this, and I quite like that. I think, well, I don't like the fact that we're going there, but I like how Mini is doing this, because I think this is very fitting for Mini. It's fun, everything is like quirky, it's different. I think they did a really good job on that front. So onto the Autobahn, top speed 250 kilometers an hour. not bad. So 100 to 200, we also measured that, of course. We did 15.6 seconds, which is quite a bit quicker. I think 7/10 quicker than the previous Countryman John Cooper Works, which had more power. So yeah, good job on that front. As you can see in our list, this is where it stands. It's not super fast, but it's also not slow. Like, everything about this car just screams that it's been made for families. Like, you know, it's a second car, it's a family car. There are things in here that kids will love. So that's close to the top speed, I would say. 255, 6. That's top speed. And then you touch that brake pedal. It's so good. It's incredible. It's one of the best brake feels I've experienced in modern cars in the last few months. Honestly, it's so good. And it fits the Mini really well, even though, you know, it's such a big car now. It doesn't feel like a hot hatch or anything like that. It's just it's basically an SUV. But that brake pedal feel and the bitey, oh, the bitey character is really impressive. They've done well on that, on calibrating that. So underneath, this is basically a BMW X1 or X2 M35i, and this is going to be the cheapest of the three, which is good. I think you get, you know, a lot of value for money in that respect, because it's quite an expensive car, but of those three, this is going to be the cheapest one. And it does feel premium in here. Most of the things you touch feel good. So all in all, a fun family car with a little sporty edge that I have to say is not as sporty as it used to be, but still, it's a funky, quirky little car. It's very practical, it's spacious, it has cool like tech and integrations. You even have apps that you can stream to your phone, so you can play games on your phone that are on this system, which is very smart. So yeah, they definitely took the Countryman into the next generation. Beat that up in this little Mini. So good job. Thanks to Walkaround for allowing us to take out their Countryman demo car. If you're interested, go check out Walkaround Mini. They have this one available, and this is the border. So fun is over, and I'm going to end. What? So I'm going to end this video. He was kind of frustrated, I think, that I was overtaking him in this Mini. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video or this playlist. See you at the next one. Bye.